We all love to have fun, and we all have routines when it comes to this stuff. And we don't need to ask the whole world to understand that we all like different things. Some wholesome, others wild and a bit crazy. But did you know that there are human beings who have made a hobby out of killing people? We've heard a lot of stories about serial killers and all the horror they've put out to this world. So today at Math Corner Digitals, we decided to make a list to show you 5 of the worst serial killers. Harold Shipman, also known as Dr. Death. This guy is believed to have killed at least 218 of his patients, although the total is quite likely closer to 250. This Doctor of Death practiced in London for 26 years between 1972 and 1998, worked in 2 different offices, killing constantly. He wasn't caught until a red flag was raised by a lot of people, especially with the fact that most of his cases were elderly women found to have died in bed, not at night but rather during the day. Police mishandled the investigation and Shipman kept killing until he got greedy and tried to concoct a will for a victim that named him beneficiary, which led the victim's doctor to become suspicious. He was finally convicted in 2000 and committed suicide while in prison in 2004. Samuel Little. Little said he killed 93 people across 19 states and evaded the law for more than 40 years. His target includes sex workers, drug users, and poor, mostly black women whose murder authorities either did not solve or simply didn't care enough to struggle to persecute him. Samuel might have died in obscurity in California prison, but most of his crimes remain unknown. Then late in life, the devil started confessing. Police began scourging old files and reopening cold case investigation, with uneven results. Nearly half of Samuel's confessed victims remain unidentified, and his death would set back efforts to bring families long denied closure. W. H. Holmes. This is the pharmacist who turned the hotel into a torture castle. Ahead of the 1893 World's Fair, Holmes moved to Chicago and started outfitting a 3-story hotel with all manners of vile contraptions, including gas lines, secret passages and trapdoors, hallways to dead ends, chutes to the basement, soundproofed padding and torture devices were strewn throughout a maze. I mean, this guy is just very creative with killing people. The guards allowed Holmes to knock out his guests before he does the terrible, horrible things to them, often on the surgical table. He then burned the bodies in the building's furnace, selling skeletons to medical schools and running life insurance scams. In all, he coped to more than 30 murders, found only after a fellow scammer turned him in for falling short on the financial agreement, before he was hanged in 1896. Pedro Lopez. One of the world's most productive serial killers might still be out there. Pedro Lopez is linked to more than 300 murders in his native Colombia and in Ecuador and Peru. At least 1/3 of those murders were tribal women. After Lopez's arrest in 1980, police found the graves of more than 50 of his preteen victims. He was later convicted of murdering 110 girls in Ecuador and confessed to 240 more murders in Colombia and Peru. The monster of Andes didn't even spend 20 years in prison, as he was released in 1988 for good behavior. More than 20 years since, his whereabouts remain unknown. What the fuck, right? Why release a man after killing just because what? He couldn't kill in prison? Only God knows if he didn't increase his murder counts for old time's sake. Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy enjoyed the attention he was getting from his murders, and many in the United States were more than happy to give him that attention. The Western US was his hunting ground, with an unknown number of murders piling up, mostly college-aged women, from Washington and Oregon all the way to Utah and Colorado. Bundy was once arrested in Colorado and convicted of kidnapping, but he escaped custody, moving to Florida where he killed multiple times more. Bundy's final arrest and its aftermath captured the attention of the nation, as the accused murderer acted as his own lawyer during what is believed to have been the first televised murder trial. He welcomed interviews and boasted to the fans he had created, like he wanted people to dream of becoming serial killers and look up to him for inspiration, the perfect role model. He was eventually executed in an electric chair in 1989.
I think things are going to work out. That's about all I can say.
Bundy is acting as his own lawyer.
What is unusual to see is that many of the onlookers are women. Are you a little scared when you look at him?
He just doesn't look like the type to kill somebody.
Serial killer Theodore Bundy has escaped once again.
One of the FBI's most wanted men.
He was charming, good-looking, smart. Are you sure you have the right guy?
You know, for all the serial killers who have been caught, their punishment feels unknowingly underwhelming compared to how much pain and suffering they have caused. If there's any name you would like to add to the list, please let us know in the comments below. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you soon.